Once upon a time, there was Hatsune Miku, a Vocaloid singer who became super popular in the late 2000s. People wanted to make their own Miku, but it costed a pretty penny to own her. So, the community made Utaus, the free alternative. But like anything that's free and open, there is great potential for creativity and degenerate behavior. Gather around, Suwawako bros. We're gonna learn about some Utaus today. Let's first begin with a one-hit wonder so big, it's almost depressing. Back in the ye olde days of YouTube, people didn't care about the latest drama or whatever content creator of the week was a groomer. No. All we cared about were memes. A lot of those old school memes are legendary, and one of them that a lot of nostalgic kids use nowadays is... If you're around my age, those words probably gave you a PTSD flashback. And the best part? That was probably your first exposure to the vocal synth scene.
But why, Suwawako?
Well, meet Momomomone. She's among the very first Utaus to have been developed all the way back in 2008. Her whole shtick is that she was developed by a crazed scientist who wanted to make a cutting-edge singing robot to prove to the world that he can boogie down with his own creations. After a couple of failures, Momo was born. It made sense for a lot of the early Utaus to be designed as robots, because that's what they sounded like back in those days. But when comparing to the relatively more organic sounds of Hatsune Miku, they wouldn't really catch on for the next few years. Now let's skip to 2010, where producer Daniel P had been building up his musical skills for about a few years at this point. His style tends to be very upbeat and includes simplistic lyrics. And cats. Lots of them. On one summer day, he decided that he would crank everything that I mentioned up to 15, dump it in a blender, and whoa, what is this? On July 25th, 2010, Daniel P released Nya 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 Nya, featuring Hatsune Miku. Oh, wait, Miku? From Fortnite? The Nyan cat that you know and love actually began here. The song title is literally the only thing Miku sings, so it does become annoying after a while, but the song has the strange power to make you feel childishly happy. One of those people that was affected was Nico user Momo. The best way I can describe them is Momo's #1 fan. They've made songs and remixes using her voice ever since her release back in 2008. Since Nya 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 haunted their mind after listening, they decided it needed the Momo treatment. January 30th, 2011. Judgment Day commenced. The music video is genuinely adorable. It just oozes old school YouTube. The story from here on is rather straightforward. YouTube user Sarah June found the Momo version on Nico Doga, edited the Pop-Tart cat gif and the song together in Windows Movie Maker, uploaded on YouTube, and the 5th most viewed video of 2011. Then there was NFTs, lawsuits, a war happened, but that's for another time. This upload was one of the forces that helped people get into Vocaloid a decade ago, and I'd be lying in saying that it wasn't probably my first exposure to vocal synth, because there was this one girl who would constantly sing it to me on the 2nd grade playground. Yep, back in those days, I had Riz. I had the loser boy Miku Riz. Now then, what about Momo herself? Well, that's just kind of it for her. Most people in the West only know her as the Nyan Cat Girl, and that just kind of makes me sad because she has a ton of potential. there's still a small community who will support everything related to her. Her mommy actually wrote a few songs using her own Utau as the voice. And there are a few songs out there that I would highly recommend listening to. Meteor Sighting being one of them, mainly because Momo sounds pretty good in English. She may forever be affected by the one-hit wonder curse. But the cool thing about those people is that you might find a hidden gem in their discography. Somewhere. Speaking of hidden gems, you might find one that is cute and wholesome, while others might want to rule the world.
And I will rule the world! Let's go!
This little fella is named Sukone Tei, and she wants to declare war on all Vocaloid.
But Suwawako, why is that?
Well, we gotta go way back to 2010, at her conception on the anonymous image board Nichan, Japanese 4chan, specifically on the VIP board, which is known for being among the most unhinged places on the Japanese internet. It has the power for criminals to reveal their cynical Joker manifestos before committing the most heinous crime possible. Or graffiti in public bathrooms. All jokes aside, these people like to do a little trolling. One of their most infamous examples of trolling was another Utau named Teto Kasane. Her and Sukone Tei had similar conception stories, so the people of the VIP board, which I will refer to as Vippers, decided to troll the internet into thinking there was a new Vocaloid character from Krypton Future Media, the most famous Vocaloid partner at the time. So, over the next few months, the Vippers went back to building their character. Name, Sukone Tei, often shortened to just Scote. Her name is the pun of a Japanese tissue paper brand, Scotty. It makes sense because her personality best reflects what she enjoys doing. Personality? Yandere. I'll just read her profile from the Utau wiki. Tei is a yandere, someone who seems normal and loving toward others before switching to an extreme form of love and devotion to the point of violence or obsession. She also likes baking cakes. It's also worth pointing out that she has a strong fetish for traffic lights, so she might be on the spectrum as well. Design? Kinda crappy. She was likely first introduced to the surface internet via the song Declare War on All Vocaloid on June 19th, 2010. People were tricked. Just like Teto Kasane before her, she was made to trick people, a joke if you will, and it worked well because people got angry. As the legend goes, regular people found her design and personality to be uninspired and kinda lame, but the Vipper stuck with it because she was supposed to be a commentary on OC characters that the Vocaloid fandom was making at the time. Like look, I'll even make my own to prove my point. First, you draw a circle, then steal, then everything else. When it came out a few days later that she was made to troll people, everyone had a good laugh and moved on. Just like with Momo, people used Tei to make remixes and original songs. Riso Eze is the most popular of her original music, where I like to think it's her secret love diary talking about all the stuff that she would do to her e-boy crush, Len Kagamine. There's also a remix of Deco 27's Monitoring that sounds pretty nice too. Overall, she might be portrayed as one of those Sonic Recolor OCs. Because she kinda is. But Tei was made to satire them, and considering she has a sorta toxic love interest with Len, I'd say she's succeeded. So, we've learned about a robot maid and a neurodivergent traffic light fetishist. What would happen if we threw them in a blender? She's inhuman. Literally. Meet Adachi Rei. She's a robot in the fullest sense. She has cameras for eyes, her voice bank is generated completely by computer synthesizer, and has had some existential crisis before. She predicted the AI uprising, all the way back in 2017 too. So, here's the lore behind this. Once upon a time, there was this one Japanese Twitter user, Missile39. He's one of those people that you see online who has a lot of talent, but only uses it for some niche, super specific purpose. And he decided sometime in February 2017 that he wanted to make his own Utaus character, but he wanted it to stand out. Missile39 decided to bring his creation to our world, but he needed our help. So, after a bit of advertising on Twitter, word got around that some guy is making a real-life robot anime girl. So, people began throwing money at his crowdfund project, and in a few months, he earned 3.5 million yen, just enough to begin. Because of his goal being surpassed, he was able to provide his backers with some nice little goodies, and one of them being the voice bank for Adachi Rei. Of course, people began making songs with her. Heat Abnormal follows Rei on her average day of mentally breaking down. No, really. Half the song is just her repeating lyrics like, "This can't be real, this can't be real, this can't be real, this can't be real, this can't be real." Even then, the rest of the lyrics are rather disturbing as they talk about the apocalypse. A theory by Soupy Soups on the Vocaloid Lyrics Wiki draws connections between this song and the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, people accepting their fate, a mushroom cloud, radiation poisoning. Vocaloid songs are kinda infamous for being rather disturbing on the inside, but I'd argue that this song hits harder the second time. So, of course, this thing has 11 million views. My Bread Was Burnt to a Crisp is among the most tragic songs of all time. Rei's bread was burnt while cooking a grilled cheese, so much so that it was rock hard. Her only coping mechanism is to apparently boogie down. Wait a minute, do robots consume food? Well, sooner than later, we might get the answer, because Missile39 has been posting steady progress of his daughter over the years, and as of January 2025, she has a body and is now learning how to walk. This is the first sign of the AI apocalypse. Not with Tesla robots, but with anime girls. Get ready, folks. Heat Abnormal will soon be the new norm. Utaus are weird. You got a maid robot, a robot with a daddy, and Cold Steel, the singing stalker. But that's just scratching the surface, as there are literally thousands of Utaus spanning across Earth's many languages that I just couldn't fit into this lesson. The best part is that you can create one with a little bit of work. So, we're bound to find some more bootleg Miku creatures later on. Anyway,
my Utaus is named Suwawako. She is awesome and uberly kawaii desu. I mean, look, she might be wearing roller skates and probably owes thousands in student debt, but she has the power to destroy worlds.